Hello and welcome to Reggie's Recess, where you get real talk about real relationships. Of course, I am your host, C. Reggie Rogers, renowned relationship coach, author, television host, radio host, podcast host, and I've got I consider myself a singles empowerment coach. Now, when I say singles empowerment coach, my objective is to literally teach singles or empower singles what it means to become the one so that they attract. You know, breaking up really is so hard. Breakups are never easy for anyone. And so this month, we're going to be talking about It's Over, I'm Sick. So that was the thing that drew me to you, and I wanted to get some advice, some wisdom from you in regards to this dating process.
Yes.
I want to talk about it. Hello. Welcome to Reggie's Recess, where you get real talk about real relationships. Of course, I am your host, C. Reggie Rogers, and I've got a great show lined up for you today. I am your host. I am your podcast host. I am your television host. I'm your radio host. What else am I? Let's see. I think that's about it. I'm an author. Number one relationship coach. I give you dating from an expanded conscious perspective, of course. And as I do every week, I try to bring you the most, or I shouldn't even say I try, I bring you the most provocative topics. And I'm not going to let you down this week. We were having some technical difficulties trying to get our guest on. So you guys got me for a whole hour by myself. And I'm going to open up lines for you to ask me any questions on dating and relationships later on. So you get me for this whole hour, and we're going to just have a great talk. We've been talking this month about confidence, competent, and being comfortable in your own skin. And the guests that I've had this week or this month, they've taken us different directions, but yet it all got back to the same destination in regards to just being comfortable in your own skin. And we believe that being comfortable in your own skin starts with being confident. And then from confident, you become competent. And then from competent, it equates to comfortable. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come right back. But after this commercial break, we're going to have that conversation. We're going to talk. And I think I'm going to do some really fun things with you guys today. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Reggie's Recess.
I am Ernest L. Thomas from the Waldens, and you need to download the Win Network app now, or else it's gonna be tragic. Tragic!
Hey, we are back with Reggie's Recess. And as I said, we've been talking about confident, competent, and comfortable in your own skin. What made me come up with this topic for this month is because I'm a part of, we're doing an event for ladies. It's for women 35 to 65. And so I'm a part of this event, one of the facilitators of this event. Someone just said they can't hear me. Uh, I'm in the chat. I guess they said they can't hear me. Let me know if guys, can you hear me okay? If you're hearing me clearly, please let me know. I just saw somebody in the chat that said you can't hear me. So, anyway, so I'm a part of this event that we're doing for looking for 12 powerhouse Nevada ladies. 12 powerhouse Nevada ladies. We want 12 women who represent Nevada. Typically, when you think of when you hear Nevada, the first city you think of is Las Vegas, but we want the entire state covered, and we're looking for 12 powerhouse Nevada ladies from the ages of 35 to 65 to be a part of the first annual Sexy, Classy, Badassy calendar for 2022. Now, with this calendar, we will pick 12, but we hope we get registrants from all over the state that feel that they have what it takes in regards to being sexy, classy, and badassy. That means you're going to be confident, you're going to be competent, and you're going to be comfortable. So we hope to get 12 women from across the state to cover the state. But registrants, you can register. Now, I want you to understand that once you register, what's important to me is not so much the registration, but for the cause. And I want to read to you really quickly because it's so important that you understand that there is a cause because we have connected and partnered also with an attorney here in Las Vegas so that we can create an avenue to help people who are stuck in sex trafficking, young ladies who are stuck in being trafficked, being trafficked. How would I say that? Those who are stuck in sex trafficking. How do we even trafficking, sex trafficking? How about that? So a portion of the proceeds go to helping victims of human trafficking reintegrate into society. So that's what a portion of the funds will go to, helping human trafficking, those who are stuck in, those who are victims, helping them to reintegrate back into society. So there is a cause behind that, and we want to be able to help. So register, register by going to sexy, classy, and bad as www sexy, classy, and badassy. Now, my guest today was a powerhouse, someone who I would think who was going to fall, who I think and I really believe falls under the category of sexy, classy, and badassy. My sister, she was going to be our guest today, but we couldn't get her on. Um, we kept having technical difficulties from where she resides to get her into the feed. It was just a problem. So I'm really sorry that you guys weren't going to be able to hear her story. You know, she's a powerhouse woman who's building her empire, and she's very powerful. So wanted you all to hear and to see her, but that's not going to happen today. We'll get her on another day. Um, but she falls under confident. When I think about confidence, for me, confident is someone who can walk that line without crossing over into being cocky or conceited, but yet they can walk that line with having their head up because they have standards. Um, Strong women have standards, not attitudes. So they have standards, but they don't have an attitude. Because sometimes when you cross that attitude, you cross over when you have that attitude, you actually cross over into cocky, conceited, and cocky, conceited for most is a turnoff. Someone who's cocky, someone who's conceited for most, that becomes a turnoff. So we're looking for confident, not someone who has their head up in the air, but they have an attitude. Strong women have standards, not attitudes. That's important. Want you to have standards because when you have standards, you're not in the business to compromise. You're not in the business to settle because you're confident enough to know what you want, what it's going to take without having to compromise or without having to settle. I notice, and we can have this conversation, those of you that are watching Facebook Live, I noticed that there are a lot of women when as we get up in age, a lot of times you start to settle, male or female, we start to settle and we compromise. Our standards become lower. because we feel like we're getting older. So we lower our standards as we're getting older because we think that maybe our standards are too high. And because we're getting older, maybe we'll never get someone that can um, be the person that you feel you've designed in your mind based off of those high standards. I don't think that you should ever lower your standards, compromise, or settle. You if especially when you have done the work that is required to make you who you believe you are supposed to be, that has given you the confidence, and that confident woman that you have now grown into, and that confident woman that you have become, then you should never have to lower your standards or settle or compromise. Continue being that confident woman and being confident in you so that you can also be confident to believe that the universe will deliver, and that the universe has designed someone based off of what you've created. That's why when I say I give dating from an expanded conscious perspective, it simply means that my objective is to help you to create what you want, but it's also to help you become what you want, so that when you become it, it becomes you. The journey to love is not about finding the one, the journey to love is about becoming the one. So, what I have discovered is it's so important that you take the time to do the work on you. So when you do the work on you, you become very keen in your senses. And then you become very deliberate and intentional about the steps that you take and the moves that you make. You're very deliberate and intentional because you don't take steps that don't have purpose when you become deliberate and intentional. Every move you make, every step you take has purpose behind it. So it's like you become purpose driven. And that's the confident level that you operate from because you're so purpose driven, and there is a confidence behind what you do. And now you become very particular about who you will allow in your energetic space, in your energetic space. I see that my sister is in the chat. I'm very disappointed that I'm not able to contribute to the discussion. I know we would have had a very powerful, very powerful discussion. And I'm very disappointed you were not able to be in the discussion as well. But you become very particular about who you allow in your energetic space because we're energy. And since we exude energy, you want people in your space, especially if you exude good energy. Good energy is flowing from you. Good energy is coming from you. So the flow that you operate from and the flow that you operate in is a consistent, confident flow, but it's not a consistent, cocky or conceited flow, but it's confidence. And so when you start operating from that energetic space, you become particular about who you allow in your energetic space, and the energy that is flowing from you, you want to exchange that same type of energy that flows from someone else so that the two of you begin to create what I call synergy. And synergy, now when you link up with somebody who has that same energetic flow that you have and you create good synergy, it's what I call people who become synergistically involved. People who are synergistically involved. PSI, people synergistically involved. Psi. So you want to have that confidence so that you don't lower your standards. Doesn't matter if you feel like I'm getting older, then I'm going to lower my standards. As I'm getting older, I'm lowering my standards. Then I'm going to compromise and I'm going to settle. No, you don't. I want you to remain steadfast in your comfortability, remain steadfast in your confidence, remain steadfast and unmovable in your confidence, but then your competence is how you comprehend what you have, the intake of the work that you have done. So, because of the work that you have done, because you hear people say, I've done the work, doing, do, doing the work, doing the work requires so much because when you do the work, you have taken the time to invest in yourself. You have made an investment into you because you've done the work that's required. Doing the work, sometimes reading self-help books, um, listening to people who are motivators as they motivate you. The meditation process, you take the time to meditate, you take the time to quiet your soul, you take the time to listen where you're not always talking, you're listening, and there's intake. And so you're building, um, you're building so that you can elevate yourself to a place of I'm confident, I'm competent. Competent means that I have elevated into a realm so that all of the possibilities that I believed were possible are definitely possible. And now I have elevated into a realm where I don't look at impossibilities, I look at possibilities because for me now, I've done the work and I stand on the competence and the premise of all things become possible. Nothing is impossible. Remember, you're already walking in that confidence. Now you have the competence and you are elevating. And let's go back to what we talked about in the confident zone. In the confident zone, we talked about strong women have standards, not attitudes. So your standard is high. So in this competent zone, you are saying that I believe, and because I believe, all things are possible, especially when it in regards to you, when it requires what you want, when it requires who you are. I'm going to say something that many probably would not. There may be some doubters, but then if you catch what I'm saying, those of you are doubters, if you really catch it, you probably would turn that doubt into a shout because I just gave you an aha moment. And it is this. Do you realize you really can become a collaborator of faith, of fate, rather? You can become a collaborator of fate. Yes, you say it's just fate and it just happens. Well, you can become a collaborator of what just happens. You can collaborate with that. It means it's not just going to happen if it's not something that you want to happen. Now, watch how this works. When there is a oneness and a harmony with source, so your source is either what we would call source energy, God, universe, what the name that you decide you want to attribute to it. But when there is a harmony and there is a oneness, the thing that's bigger than us, this higher power, the thing that is so bigger than us, but yet it is inside of us, and yet it is who we are, because now there is this oneness. We create this oneness and a harmony. There again is that synergy. And so the harmony and the synergy creates the oneness, then that begins to have the peace. So when you have that synergy and the harmony and the oneness, and you have this peace, now you understand things are not just going to things are constantly happening and unfolding. They're manifesting. But you now become a manifestor because you are a collaborator of what it is that you have designed to manifest for you. That's in anything in regards to life, even in regards to a mate. Now, I started a new segment a couple of weeks ago, and I'll do that today as well. It's a new segment called Reggie's Relationship Recipes. And I'm going to give a recipe later on in the show. I'm going to open it up for you, those of you in the chat. You can ask me anything that you like in regards to relationships, anything in regards to dating and relationships. You have about 10 minutes or so to do that. And you might want to start forming your questions, but that'll be later on in the show. I'll open that up for you, and then we'll create a Reggie's relationship recipe. So, in regards to that competence, the confidence, the competence, the oneness, the synergy, being this collaborator of fate, once I tap into the harmony of this, the force that I have that drives me, the force that's larger than me, but that yet is inside of me. And then I understand that it's in me and yet it can come out of me. So I learn how to tap into what is in me so that it comes out of me. Then I become a collaborator of fate. And then, I hear people say, I'm a manifester. Well, once we get this, we all can become a manifester and things begin to manifest. So now I operate in this confidence, and then I am competent, and then I get this understanding of being comfortable in my skin, because now I don't focus on what's missing. I focus on what I intend to create, because I am a manifester. So I focus on what I intend, because remember, I become deliberate and intentional. I get it in my mind. What do I want to create in my mind? How do I want to create it? And how do I want to create it? I want to create it by, first of all, starting off by taking my attention off of what's missing, but changing. And now I put my attention on what I intend to create, and I take my attention off of what's missing. Because I can easily say, I don't have a girlfriend, or you can say, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a husband, I don't have a fiance, I don't have a wife, I don't have blah 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 blah. And so whatever we think about, we bring about, and whatever we think about, we constantly expand. So if we take our attention off of what we don't have or what's missing, and we put our attention on what we intend, so we change that, and we put our attention on what we intend to create. How does it look? How does it feel? How does it walk? How does it talk? You see, you start getting all of that, and you get the feelings of that as if you're already in that. Now you become a collaborator of what you want because you've already got it up here. And so, how does it look? How does it feel? What's the feeling you're going to have when it does happen? Create that and be intentional about that. Then you become comfortable in your own skin. Sometimes uncomfortable people who are uncomfortable because they don't have a clue. That's why they're so uncomfortable. But when you get it up here and you start seeing it manifest, because you become this manifestor, now you're confident, you're competent, and you become very comfortable in your own skin. I hope this makes sense to a lot of you, and I hope this is helping you, and those of you who are contemplating on whether you should be a part of the sexy, classy, badassy calendar of 2022, we're going to look for the 12 women that will represent Nevada. But out of those 12, we're going to let the public pick their favorite month in the calendar. And that favorite month, whoever that person will represent the cover of 2023. So, yes, we want you to be a part of history because this is the very first calendar for sexy, classy, and badassy. SCABA, sexy, classy, and badassy. This is the first calendar for SCABA. And we want you to be a participant. We want you to register. If you're a Nevada woman and you think you have what it takes, you're confident, you're competent, and you're comfortable in your skin, you're sexy, you're classy, you're badassy, you're not confident. I mean, you're not cocky, you're not conceited, but you have all of these elements and still yet very comfortable without having to be cocky or confident. We want you to be a part of this 2022, very first of its kind here. Want you to be a part of that. So, I hope you're starting to get a glimpse of this confident, competent, comfortable oneness, being comfortable in your skin, and you become this manifester. Then there may be somebody saying, I don't want to enter because I don't know if I'll win. I might not be one of the 12. Manifest it. I just talked to you. I just showed you. Manifest it. You be the manifest it. Manifest what you start manifesting what you want. Become the collaborator of fate. Instead of you just waiting, it might happen. No, 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 no. Things are constantly happening. Things are constantly happening. So there's a rhythm, there's a flow. There's a rhythm, there's a flow. Now remember I talked about energy and energetic flows. When I see that there is when the energy is wrong, my conversation typically is not long. That just means somebody is exuding a bad vibe. And I don't want to be on that vibratory frequency when there's this bad vibe. So my conversation is not long when the energy's wrong. And that's something that it just flows from within because of the work you've done and the energy that you operate from. And so when there's a bad energetic flow or when the energy is bad, you don't want it to disrupt your energetic flow. And the reality of it is it cannot disrupt your energetic flow because you're not going to allow it to seep in because you've already registered inside of you that it's wrong. So your conversations not going to be very long. If we could put that flyer up once more, I want you guys to take a look at the flyer. Take the time, if you have not already, go to www.sexy classy badassy. Go to www.sexy classy and badassy.com. Do you feel you have what it takes? Are you sexy? Are you classy? Are you badassy? Are you confident? Are you competent? And are you comfortable in your skin? And if you think you have what it takes, then we want you to be a part. I'm going to take a little break here. We're going to listen to some music. We're going to be right back after this. Hope you enjoy this song, and we'll be right back after this. 1, 2, 3.
Keep the picture. This could be me and you. Pull out your feelings. I know you want it too. 'Cause I got the feeling all in my bones. You're waking up the monkey with the gorilla trying to get you to moan. You look so good all by yourself. The way I see it, I think you're gonna need some help. And then we pop, go, the weasel does a weasel go pop. We can go pop. We can go pop. Let me love you like you need to be loved. Love you like you need to be loved. Like you need to be loved, baby. Love you like you need to be loved. Baby. Love you like you need to be loved. baby. Pop goes a weasel, cause a weasel go pop. We can go pop. Ooh, let me love you. Love you like you need to be loved. All of my love to you. Love you like you need to be loved. Like you need to be loved. I know you need love you like you need to be loved. You want it, baby. Let me love you like you need to be loved. Like you need to be loved. I wanna love you like you need it. Oh, like love. I wanna make this thing legit. Ooh. Your deal. Baby, baby's the queen of my throne. There's no reason to be alone. I need you to get ready. What you thinking is still unknown. Catching feelings, it ain't so wrong. I need you to get ready. I will be everything you want me to be. I'll be everything you need. Loving you and you loving me. I'm giving you love you like you need to be. Really want to. I really want to. Love you like you need to be loved. Like you need to be loved. Slowly. Love you like you need to be loved. Gently. Love you like you need to be loved. You need to be. You meant to be loved. Love you like you need to be loved. Baby, let me love you. Love you like you need to be loved. Love you like you need to be loved. So pop.
Hey, love you like you need to be loved. And that's all we were talking about earlier. You know, when you're confident and you love yourself, listen, nobody's going to ever love you like you love yourself. So you get confident in you, competent in yourself, and comfortable in your own skin. When you really, really love you, then somebody else will love you the way you feel like you need to be loved. So if you don't love you, no one can love you. If you don't like you, how you expect somebody else to like you? A lot of times I ask people to ask themselves, would you date you? Would you take yourself out on a date? Would you love you? I mean, I think those are good questions to ask. So, love you like you need to be loved. Thank you, Michael Lane from Michael Wave. That was a very popular group, had a very popular song back out in the 80s. It was actually a hit called Instant Replay. So, that's Mike's newest one of his newest projects there. Love you like you need to be loved. That's extremely, extremely important. So, you know what I want to do? I want to do what I call a Reggie's relationship recipe. I'm going to open up to those if you're in the chat and if you have a what I call a dating relationship question, any question you may have, let's see if we could do answer a question for you. If not, I will create a Reggie's relationship recipe. If you have a question, shoot it over right now in the chat room. Reggie's relationship recipe. If not, we're gonna put one together for you. So is there any questions that you may have about dating and relationships? Shoot them out there now. I'm ready to answer any questions. Uh, where you at? Where you at? You got any questions for me? If not, I'm gonna create a a recipe for you. Just and I think that's probably what I'm gonna end up having to do is just create a recipe for someone. And you can just take notes. I will. Recipes typically take ingredients. And so we're gonna put some ingredients together for this recipe. And so this ingredient today we're gonna put together. Let's see. What do I want to do? If I have no questions, what recipe do I want to put together that I think you guys would like? How about, hmm, since I have no questions, how about I put a recipe together called the secret sauce. That sounds good, right? The secret sauce. So, the secret sauce to attraction, because remember, we said become what you want, and what you want will come to you. So, Reggie's secret sauce to attraction, Reggie's relationship recipe. Here is the first thing you got to do in this secret sauce. I would say step one, clean. Do everything possible to clean and unclutter your thoughts so that you can do everything possible to achieve what you desire. Do everything possible to clean and unclutter your thoughts so that you can do everything possible to achieve what it is that you want and you desire. So the first thing is clean. Everybody clean. That's your first ingredient. Ingredient number one is clean. Ingredient number two would be create. Create. Because remember, we said dating from an expanded conscious is all about not focusing on what's missing, but focus on what you intend to create. Okay, so that's becoming intentional. So create the vision of what your mate looks like, and then begin to bring it into existence, bring it into your existence, bring it into your world. So create what he or she looks like, and then bring it into your existence, bring it into your world. So we're going to clean by uncluttering your thoughts. Do everything possible to clean and unclutter your thoughts so that you can do everything possible to achieve what you desire. And then we're going to create. That means it's going to get up here in this mind, create the vision of what your mate looks like, bring it into existence, bring it into existence. And so create this vision. So now when you're compromising, we talked about earlier, when you're compromising and you're settling, that means that I feel like there's a division and you're divided. And reason there's a division and you're divided is because you know you're compromising and you really know that's not really a fit for you and you really know that's not who you want, but you just say, okay, maybe this is my last chance, and you go with last chance Johnny or you go with last chance Sally because you just feel like this is my last chance. And so because you'll just settle and you'll compromise. But you're having this dualism, this battle. It's like this dichotomy because you're having this battle amongst yourself, in yourself, with yourself, by yourself, to yourself, because there's something inside of you saying you could do better, but yet you're saying, I don't know my age. And so you're having this conversation about that with yourself. And so this dualism, so now you become divided. So there, it creates division. So where there is division, there can be no vision. And where there is no vision, you begin to perish. You get it? Division because you're divided. So we want you to create the vision of what your mate looks like so that you can begin to bring it into existence without having that thought of having to settle or having to compromise. We want you to have the vision where it is clear because you've uncluttered because you've cleaned from the first ingredient. You cleaned house. You did everything possible to clean and to unclutter your thoughts so that you can do everything possible to achieve what you desire. So you did the cleaning, you've done the work, and now you're creating the vision of what your mate looks like so that you can bring it into existence. So ingredient number one is clean, ingredient number two is create, but then ingredient number three is check. Check. Check your mind to make sure it's filled with positive thoughts related to the vision of how your mate looks. Examine to detect the presence of anything that should not be there. Okay? Check it. Check it so that you can go forward. Clean, create, and then check. Check means you're checking your mind to make sure it is filled with positive thoughts related to the vision of how your mate looks and you're going to examine to detect so that you can determine if there is anything that should not be there that is still there that's present. Get rid of it. Okay. Ingredient number one, everybody, is what? Clean. Ingredient number two is what? Create. Ingredient number three is what? Check. These are so simple, they all start with a C. But then ingredient number four should be connect, connect, connect. Important, connect. Bring together or into contact so that a real or a notional link is established. You want a real link that is established. So watch your vision become a reality while you're when you get to this ingredient. Your vision begins to become a reality because now you have manifested it. That's what we talked about earlier. You are manifesting. You become a collaborator with fate. So you start attracting who you want. You're now this manifester. So the connect is bringing together or bringing into contact that you have established a link with. And then in this while you're putting this ingredient in, you can watch your vision become a reality because you have collaborated with it and you start attracting who you want. So I guess I could add that last C there is become a collaborator. Okay, so let's go over the ingredients. Clean, ingredient number one. Create, ingredient number two. Check, ingredient number three. Connect, ingredient number four. And I just threw in as a bonus, colla- collaborate. You're collaborating with your the higher you that's inside of you, that higher power that exists inside of you. You're collaborating because the universe now becomes a master choreographer, and now you have been intentional in your thoughts, and so now the universe is delivering to you what you have created because you are this manifester. So clean plus create plus check equals connect. Clean plus create plus check equals connect. That's the attract. That's the attract. Connect is the attract. So start attracting who you want. Do you even know who you want? Because the secret sauce really is within you. I just gave you a nugget there. I mean, that's a jewel. And I hope you take that. The secret sauce is within you because the term secret sauce has come to mean the thing that you do that makes you unique. So the secret sauce is in you. You have something that you do that makes you unique. My first question that I will ask someone when I meet them is my very first question is, what makes you unique? That's your secret sauce. It's the thing that you have inside of you that makes you unique. You have to determine what makes you unique. Everybody has it. That's why we've all been created with something unique, something that uniquely defines us, something that uniquely makes us who we are. What is the thing in you that would cause someone to be attracted to you? Wow, I'm making you think a little bit here. Now I've given you the recipe, but now I'm making you think a little bit here. What is the thing that would make someone be attracted to you? Do you realize that if you get this, you not only become a, a manifester, but you also become a magnet. You become this magnet because you can attract the partner that you want. You can attract a conscious partner that you want. Now, I use that word conscious because your energy is flowing in a whole different flow now. This energetic flow that you're flowing and operating from, you're intentional, you're deliberate, your energy is good because you've done the work. So now you can start attracting the conscious partner that you want. You will become the source to what it means to attract what you want. And it's nothing magical. It's just understanding how to attract your conscious mate on a spiritual, energetic level. That's all. Nothing magical. You have the secret sauce within you. I'm going to go back over that one more time, and then I'm going to give you my website. Those of you who may say, man, I like that. I want more. You may want to get me as your relationship coach. You may want to get me as your singles empowerment coach, whatever the case may be. I'll give you how you can find me. You can actually find me at creggierogers.com. Go to my site there. You can find me. You can get me to be your relationship coach, your singles empowerment coach. But let me go back over that secret sauce for you one more time, because I want you to clean, I want you to create, I want you to check, and then I want you to connect. Okay. And you become a collaborator with fate. So things don't just happen anymore. You're a part of how it's happening. Okay. Because now you become the manifester. Clean simply means you're going to do everything possible to clean and uncolor your thoughts so that you can do everything possible to achieve the mate that you desire. Or if you already have a mate, then you can achieve what you desire for you, just in general. Secondly, you're going to create the vision of what your mate looks like, or create the vision of what you want. If it's just not a mate, you've already coupled up, that's great. Well, create the vision of what you want. Bring it into existence. Get it here in the mind. Okay? Because what you think about is what you bring about. Whatever you think about, that's what you bring about. Then you're going to check your mind to make sure it's filled with positive thoughts related to the vision of how your mate looks, or how it looks, whatever it is that you determine that you want. Examine and detect to make sure that whatever should not be there isn't there. Get rid of it. Check it. Get rid of it. It's got to go. And then lastly, you're going to connect. That's your last ingredient, is the connect. Bring together or into contact so that a real link is established. Okay. That's the connection. Watch your vision become a reality. That means you start attracting what it is you want and who you want. Clean plus create plus check equals connect. That's how you attract. Hey, I'm going to show you, there may be some of you who want to know how to become a sponsor, so that you can always connect with us as well. We'll be right back. We'll show you how you can become a sponsor of Reggie's Recess. And I welcome you. Become a sponsor. There are different levels. Come on. Take one of the levels, become a sponsor. I welcome you. If you like what we do, embrace what we do, hey, we want you to be a sponsor. There are those of you watching us on Facebook Live today. Thank you so very much. Some of you hear us on 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte. You'll catch us tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Thank you. We certainly appreciate you. And then some of you will catch us on YouTube. We appreciate you as well. And then a lot of you will catch us on the Win Network. We're going to start pushing back of going live on Facebook with Reggie's Recess. You're going to be able to see it more on the Win Network. But I think that I'll still come and bring you some Reggie's relationship recipes, just short recipes. But in terms of Reggie's Recess, you probably won't see it as much now as you have in the past. I want to get you to start going to the Win Network. You catch us Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Win Network. But here, we're going to show you how to be a sponsor of Reggie's Recess. If you'd like to be a sponsor on Reggie's Recess, this is all it takes.
Hello. Thank you for watching and being a friend to Reggie's Recess. We're on a mission. Our goal is to empower 1 million women. It costs a great deal of money to keep this mission moving forward. We have created a wonderful opportunity for our viewers and friends to align themselves with us so that we can achieve this goal. Please consider making a conscious decision to be a supporter and sponsor. We have 3 levels. Silver at $100. You'll receive a C. Reggie Rogers signature one-man woman t-shirt. Gold at $250. you'll receive a C. Reggie Rogers signature One Man Woman t-shirt and baseball hat. Platinum at $500, you'll receive a One Man Woman baseball hat, t-shirt, a C. Reggie Rogers book, and workbook entitled Love at First Spirit. For your gift to the show and C. Reggie Rogers' #1 relationship coach, you get a piece of the One Man Woman Tour memorabilia. Go to www.creggierogers.com, click on the link Sponsorship or Cash App, $CLOYDRODGERS. If you like our merchandise, you can actually order your t-shirts, hats, and books. Go to www.onemanwoman.com.
Hey, don't forget you can get our merchandise, especially you ladies, onemanwoman.com. You get your merchandise there, get your hats, get your t-shirts. And again, if you want to be a sponsor, it's so easy to be a sponsor. Just go to creggierogers.com. Click on the link that says sponsorship. So we're going to be enlarging our territory. We're going to be doing a campaign that you can start seeing some of the Reggie's relationship recipes on TikTok, and you'll also be able to see Reggie's relationship recipes on Instagram as well. So we're going to enlarge our territories, and as I said, we're going to push back from doing these lives Reggie Recess on Wednesdays at this time. We're going to be pushing you more so that you can see them on the Win Network. We are on the Win Network. The Win Network is WINNETWORK, thewinnetwork.com. You can catch us on Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So therefore, you can say, well, I've already seen it on Facebook Live. I don't have to go to the Win Network. Hey, listen, if you like what you see, go to the Win Network. You can catch us there as well, Monday through Friday, when you don't see us as much on Facebook Live doing this like we've been doing it. But you'll still see us with Reggie's relationship recipes, not as long of a show, but quick, just because we want to continue to provide you something and we want you to be sponsored. So don't forget to go and be a sponsor. And then there are those who say, I want more, I want more, I want more. We're also on the Worldwide Jazz Radio Monday through Friday. We're on Worldwide Jazz Radio. I am on the morning show with Langston. I do 4 drops a day on the morning show there. You'll catch a Reggie's Recess, quick love notes, just quick love notes on relationships. I do 4 drops a day on the Langston Carter Morning Show from 6 a.m. to 12 noon on the Worldwide Jazz Radio. So, as you see, we are really, really doing our best to expand and to come into different markets so that we have something for everybody. And those of you that'll catch us tonight on 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte, thank you, thank you, thank you. We always look forward to coming on 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte. I want to do a closing, and here's what I want to talk to you about. Just simple. We've been talking about sexy, classy, and badassy. But being a badass woman means rising above the impulse to lift yourself up by you don't want to tear others down. So, because you say you're this badass woman, you rise above the impulse so that you lift yourself up so that you don't tear others down. You can still be bad, and you could be a badass woman, still be in that category. Uh, and I know this may go against the norm of what people think a badass woman is, but that just means it makes you a little bit more interesting because you're not tearing others down, even though you are this bad, sexy, classy, and bad assy woman. It makes you more interesting because being a certified badass does not mean being nasty. It doesn't mean being rude. It doesn't even mean being mean. You don't have to be mean to be a badass. You can be extremely nice and still be the perfect badass woman. It's more about the confidence to be who you are. You see, that woman has standards, not an attitude. Confident women have standards, not an attitude. Competent women have standards, not an attitude. Comfortable women who are comfortable in their skin have standards, not an attitude. And badass women who are comfortable in their skin have standards, not an attitude. Got to give a shout out to our super producer, Steven Siebel. Always makes us look good, sound good. And when we look good, sound good, I honestly feel good. I feel good about the product that we're able to produce and to provide for our audience. So thank you, Steven Siebel from Action Shot Productions. Again, this is another Action Shot Productions. If you're in the market to have a video done, call Action Shot Productions. Documentary, movie, short film, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, a commercial, listen, call Action Shot Productions. If you just need content to get your business in the game and you need content that you need to take to your YouTube channel, content that you need to take to your social media platforms, listen, call Action Shot Productions so that he can provide that content for you. Steven is the man. All right. We'll be back next week. I hope to have my sister on with me next week. We did our best to get her on today, but we're going to make sure whatever we got to do today, we'll get her on next week. So all of you who tuned in, thank you, thank you, thank you. We certainly appreciate it. We'll see you next week with another Reggie's Recess. We'll be back then. Have a great rest of the day.